You may be familiar with Smackdown vs. Raw 2007 because you probably played it on the PlayStation 2, but did you know that there is actually a PlayStation portable version of the game that is actually really surprising? Yes, this is the PSP version of Smackdown vs. Raw 2007. Do not adjust your TV. This is actually what it looks like, and we're getting an immediate roll up. Holy shit, Lance Cade, sorry, immediately going for that pinfall. So yes, this is the PSP version. Now, obviously, come on, there is a massive graphical difference. There is no doubt. Obviously, this game does not look as good as the PSP or the PS2 version. But you know what? For a PSP, this is actually quite impressive, I think. So not only are you playing... Oh my god, he just threw him out of the ring. That's insane. So not only are you playing Smackdown vs. Raw on the go, you are playing a very authentic version of Smackdown vs. Raw on the go. So like, this is like the full game. There are maybe some weird controller concessions made because there is no second thumbstick, and I think this is the game that actually changed the control system to be on the right stick. So it is a little bit confusing. I think it is still on the circle button to grapple and stuff, but you have to hold the R1. I say R1 button. There's only one right trigger, there's only one bumper button, there's only one left bumper. So again, you're trying to make the best of what you've got, right? Look, to be honest, I'm looking at this game and I'm going, this is on a PSP, man. This is what, like a 5-inch display. It's like PSPs are probably like the size of your phone. And I'm just thinking, like, if I'm kicking about on the bus or at school or whatever else, and like I want to get a match or two in of SVR, this is like the perfect way to do it. And you can see here, like, this is the full fat version of SVR. It just doesn't have the graphics. All the wrestling, all the animations, all the entrances as well are all the same. And there's even the same game modes. I don't know if there's any game mode that didn't transfer over to this game. I'd have to look at the season mode to see if that's the same. But like, General Manager mode, for example, General Manager mode is here in its entirety. There's even online play. Like, why is there online play? There is a wireless mode option, so like if you were nearby your friend, you'd be able to wirelessly play online with them. It's a really ambitious game. Also, dude, say what you want, this game has a referee in the ring for a match, which is not even something that like many early wrestling games had. A lot of early wrestling games either had just a referee voice, or they had like an on-screen cartoon graphic like the WCW games. Not always was there a referee in the ring, and the fact that the PSP was able to nail that on multi-person matches, oh my god. Okay, I'll stop gushing now, right? Okay, the AI is a little bit dumb. The textures are really low. There's really not a lot of polygons going about. Some of these guys are made up of like really simple polygons. The ropes appear to be 2D flat textures, like flat rectangles, which is hilarious. And the ring mat frequently disconnects from the ring skirts because there is no connecting tissue between the ring mat and the skirts. So quite often you'll just see the ring mat floating about in the air. And yes, there are about 3 rows of people, and there's probably 3 different animations for the character. There's different 3 character models for the crowd, and they're just repeated across 3 rows. And the rest of it is all texture work. Look, it's obvious. There are definitely corners cut here. Again, I'm not disputing the fact that the game is partially ugly, and it is quite funny to look at. The real thing I'm trying to mention here is the fact that they managed to get SVR 07 in its entirety working on the PSP, which is a game that was designed pretty much for the PS2, but also made the jump to Xbox 360. So theoretically, this isn't entirely true, but you could essentially say that there is an Xbox 360 game that can be ran on a PSP. Big Show hit a massive clothesline there, and he dragged JBL over to the other side of the ring, and I was hoping he was going to go for a pinfall. Even on Legend difficulty, all 3 of these characters are controlled by the CPU, and I was hoping even on Legend difficulty that this would be a fairly quick match. Like, I know SVR 07 isn't the quickest game ever, but I was kind of hoping that we would at least have competent AI that would at least want to end the match at some point. But we've got another oh, I thought he was going for the showstopper, but no, Cade reversing the choke slam. Oh my god, I don't know what caused it, but 15 minutes later, I'll be honest, I fast forward the emulator, so I have no idea what caused it, but maybe I caught that, I don't know. Oh my god, a 15-minute match. I'm so glad I did not sit through that, because I do not have that kind of time right now, but the AI just could not figure out how to win that match whatsoever, and it was so painful to watch. Every single time Big Show did a finisher, he would go for the pin, and then the other person would just break up the pin. So I'm sure single matches are totally fine, but multi-man matches? Oh boy. Alright, let's look at the menu then for Smackdown vs. Raw 2007, and much like its PS2 counterpart, it looks very similar. I think it has some less moving parts. I think that the Raw and Smackdown parts on the side probably don't animate, but it still plays the Raw and Smackdown intro videos on the side there in their entirety, even if they are really low quality. Again, you would never notice that on a tiny PSP display. Going through the menus though, we have access to the exhibition. You can see all the regular matches that you would have access to. You even have access to Royal Rumble. I think you have access to every match from the PS2 version as well. So you still have Elimination Chambers, we have Buried Alives, and you even have the brand new Money in the Bank ladder match. I mean, brand new is contentious because I'm pretty sure 6-man ladder matches were in the game previously, but maybe they weren't. Regardless, that is all there. You can also do title matches if you so please. In the game modes option, you do actually have access to the season mode. So I was wrong. I needed more information to make a guided assumption. Season mode must be in the game in its entirety. I don't know about any voice acting or anything, but season mode must be comparable to the PS2 version on here. I'd imagine all the real-time cutscenes just play with this really funny low polygon mode, so I don't know, unless it just plays like videos from the PS2 version, that's also a possibility. But General Manager mode is here in its entirety as well, and pay-per-view mode is here as well. I would imagine a lot of people probably got a lot of mileage out of General Manager mode being on PSP, because my god, that would be such an awesome, like, these GM modes are so good. 2K. These modes are so good, and the ability to take it on the go with the PSP must have been amazing. You also have all the create modes as well, so all of the create superstar, create a moves, entrance, championship, stable. This is all stuff from the PS2 game, and I realize as I'm saying this, the whole point of the PSP was to be a portable PS2, so I totally realize that that is the point of the console. But the fact that they were able to almost seamlessly transition an Xbox 360 game, a PS2 game, onto the PSP is like kind of insane to me. You even have the locker room where you can customize and do your like stuff. Can you free roam the locker room? I don't even know. Okay, so you can't free roam the locker room, but you do have access to all the same options that were there. So season mode options, messages for season mode, magazine also provides updates on the storylines happening, and then you got the PC menu, which usually gives you some form of storyline update as to what's going on in the current story that you're playing in season mode. You can also, so you can like shop, for example. You can actually use the points that you earn in the game, points being money, and you can use that to unlock legends or championships or costumes or whatever. I don't even think there's any exclusive characters in the PSP version. In fact, I'm talking complete bollocks. I think there is Jake the Snake Roberts, if I'm not wrong. He is a PSP exclusive that you can carry over to the base game. I don't know if that's this year or not. I think if you have a 2007 PSP game save, you can transfer over to the PS2 version and you can unlock Jake the Snake in the PS2 version, which is kind of crazy. It's a little scummy that you have to buy two versions of the same game, but I do appreciate the fact that you do get like a bonus character for having both games. There is also the Road to WrestleMania mode, which is exclusive to the PSP. This is not in the PS2 version. However, when I looked at it, it really is just a tournament mode. I don't think there's anything special about it. Iron Man mode means that your damage carries over from one match to the other. You also have access to every arena from the PS2 version as well. They obviously don't look as good as the PS2 version, or in this case, the screenshots are from the the Xbox 360 version, which is dubious. But regardless, these screenshots are not indicative of the actual quality of what you're going to be getting in the PSP version, especially. I'm really curious as to what some of the larger stages will look like, something like an Unforgiven or SummerSlam's quite detailed. Yeah, some of these larger stages, like Saturday's Main Event and WrestleMania, they're quite large and there's a lot of detail going on, so I'm really curious to see what they look like, but I don't have a game save, so I won't be able to see them just now. But like, it is literally just a... it's literally just a tournament. I don't really understand. I guess it's just an extra game mode, right? It's just been added in there so you get extra value over it being a portable version of SVR07. And this is the wireless mode I was talking about. So if you have had a friend with a PSP, in fact, you probably still can do it if it's local, but if you have a PSP in this version of the game and someone else has a PSP in this version of the game, you can probably do wireless exhibition matches, wireless title matches, and you can even trade custom superstars, which is a really nice feature. So I don't know if they existed back then, but something like E3 or like I don't know, whatever a TwitchCon would have been back then, some community meetup for video gamers. Just think that you could be, instead of the community creations where you can download custom characters now, back then you were probably had a PSP full of custom characters that you were just going around being like, do you want some custom characters? I got them on my PSP, we could transfer them. That's probably what happened. And I don't think I need to show you the options. I think you get the gist. Before we dive into this final match that I want to end the video on, there is this really funny thing where you select the match you want to do and then it takes you to the matchup screen, which is totally fine. The game does, like, it's supposed to do that from the PS2 version, but the quality of these character models are so funny. Like Booker T's completely flat face, I don't know what's going on with Shawn Michaels. He looks like he's wearing someone else's face. Cena actually looks okay. He looks comparable to his early PS2 model there, like his Here Comes the Pain model. And then Triple H looks actually fine here, but when you put him into a match, it looks utterly ridiculous. Wow, okay, so as I mentioned, this game has authentic entrances, right? And by authentic, I mean like it plays the entrances from the original game. What am I trying to say? The PS2 version of the game. So you have all the same animations. The Titantrons play the full video. You have all the pyro. You have the music. Like, this isn't like one of those cut early kind of portable games where you get like maybe like one match to play or whatever. This is like quite accurate to the PS2 version. You've even got the Hell in a Cell hanging above the ring, which is actually quite a cool detail. And the stage is really well detailed. I did not expect the stage to be that well detailed, especially with like, again, the lighting, the pyro, the crowd, the cage, the ring, like, and then whatever the hell that is in the ring. The belt obviously looks really goofy as well, but like, God, this is so cool. Like, I find this stuff so interesting and so cool. As we continue here through the entrances, I just want to show off like Shawn Michaels as well, because he does look pretty goofy. And he has this, like, because obviously all the character models are really low poly, they have this weird shine to them as well. Because obviously the polygons are quite reflective. As you might see from maybe the wider angle as well, outside of the ring is Booker T, so he's still standing outside of the ring during these entrances, and I'm assuming as the other guys make their entrances, we will also probably see like Shawn Michaels and the others. I mean, the pyro does look pretty naff. There's literally like one or two particles there. It doesn't look good, but I appreciate it nonetheless. The fact they were able to do it in the first place is so cool to me. This is a fatal four-way Hell in a Cell match. We are here at the Royal Rumble, and we have decided to put Booker T in the ring with HBK, Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, The Gamer, Triple H, and the Doctor of Thugonomics, John Cena. Again, I am thoroughly impressed by the fact that the game is running a solid frame rate and it has a referee in the ring. So this is essentially 5 characters in the ring, plus obviously the ring quality, plus the cage on top of that. I don't know, I'm a real goof for like technological things, and the fact that they're able to pull this off I find so interesting. And again, it comes back to that WWE2K18 port, right? That 2K18 port of on the Switch, and just how bad it was. Like, it was terrible, and it couldn't even handle like one-on-one matches because basically they ported the PS4 version to the Switch, and it didn't work because obviously like a PS4 is not a Switch, and that's basically like this situation of here is a PSP version of SVR07, and you can see like obviously they've made all these concessions. Like the graphics have been turned way down, and there's been a lot of work here. This is not like this isn't a slider. They haven't just turned the graphics down. There's been a lot of work here to develop a lot of these character models, retexture them, and obviously with the crowd as well. Like the crowd, you can't just turn the slider down and then the crowd just happens to be 2D pixel art. Like they have done work here to make the game look like this. And I've just realized as well, the crowd has 2 character models. I think it is literally 2. They're all doing the exact same animation as well. So that is probably the concession that they make to have like a fatal 4-way. Maybe that's the Hell in a Cell as well. I would also love to know how well this sold. I know that like it must have sold well enough. The other games came to PSP as well. The other SmackDown vs. Raw games. I think literally like SmackDown vs. Raw 2008 came out on like literally everything. Smackdown 09 may have been on PSP. 10 probably was as well, and I know that 11 does because everyone mods it. So I'm gonna guess that 12 was probably not, like 11 was the last one to come to PSP. So there must have been a market here for the PSP version, which obviously then bled into other things as well. Like there's a DS version of a lot of the other SVR games as well, like 8, 9, 10. I think there are DS versions. There's a DS version of TNA Impact as well. So there must have been an appetite for wrestling games on these consoles. But I find that crazy to think about because like who's buying a SmackDown game on the DS? On the PSP at least I can understand because you're getting like the same game but you're getting it portable. You can't even argue that. So the format for the PSP was called a UMD. So the PS2 versions of the game run on like DVDs, right? They're like dual layered DVDs. I can't remember how much they hold. It's like 8 or 10 gigabytes. I can't remember. But there's a lot of space on a PS2 disc to cram in a lot of data as much as you can. The PSP UMD probably did not have that amount of space. It probably had, if I'm going to take a wild stab in the dark, because I genuinely don't know, probably about a gig, maybe 2, maybe 5. Like, I think we're talking about a gigabyte. And you can kind of tell, like, obviously with the graphics and textures, they turned them way down. They compressed them to high hell. But I've also just noticed as well, just through, like, I didn't even notice this the first, like, match that I played there. But there's no commentary either. So I wonder how that affects like the story mode. I'm going to assume since there's no commentary here, that there are probably no commentary lines in the game because probably the commentary probably takes up the vast majority of the disk space because it is just like audio files. And there's usually quite a lot of them. So I'm wondering now, like, does season mode not have the commentary lines? But then also like for the voice acted cutscenes then, like, is this the game where Teddy Long gets ran over? I think this is the one where like Undertaker and Benoit have their weird promo in the ring. Like, does that happen or is it all like text based? Like, do you just get the cutscene with subtitles? Like, I have so many questions. Like, I could just play it and find out, but I just, this is my immediate thought process here watching this game play out. John Cena going for the attitude adjustment at this point in the game. It's definitely called the FU. And Shawn Michaels promptly breaking up that pinfall. Not even a 1. Shawn Michaels is tuning up the band and he nails Booker T with this sweet chin music as the action spills outside the ring. I didn't even think about blood. Oh my god, blood is a thing in the PSP version of this, and it even spills on the ring mat. I forgot it was even a feature, and the fact that, yeah, like you even have the blood splatters on the ring mat. That is crazy detail. Oh, we've got Joe's submissions here. We've got the crossface for Triple H over there, and we've got the SDF going on in the ring. If John can apply pressure, Booker T submits, and Booker T gives up to the SDF, courtesy of the Doctor of Thugonomics, John Cena. John Cena getting the win in this Hell in a Cell match. You actually do have the option to do an Armageddon Hell in a Cell, but I can't even imagine how the game runs with 6 people in the ring plus plus the cage and all the rest of it. But yeah, I find this so interesting. I really do. Technologically, like, it's just so... Just wow. The fact that this game runs at all is just crazy to me. But that's going to be us for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this look back at the PSP version of SVR 2007. If you want to see more like SVR 08 or anything on the PSP, then let me know, because there are other console versions of these games and they are so very interesting and they have their own little unique quirks. And I'm sure there's even more that we can dive into in this game that I haven't even thought of. I'm sure there's like other stuff, like I'm sure if we did the Road to WrestleMania or the season mode or the GM mode, I'm sure there's like something there that I'm missing that is probably like unique to this version or something. With that being said, that's us for today. Thank you so much for watching again. I hope you have a great week, a great day, a great month. I don't know. Come back, watch more, or don't. I don't know. Have a good day. Bye for now.